See, this is what you gotta deal with when you have a pet snake. Most of the time, Argyle is pretty easygoing, but he decided to, and he did it very fast. Thing about ball pythons, you get the assumption that you don't have to, yep, and he poked his head right back in. You get the assumption that, they're not gonna move that fast. But they will move fast when they want to, and he crawled really fast. He was around my neck at first, then he crawled quick down my shoulder, on the pillow, on the pillow, through here, all the way there, and then he went on into this thing. So I had to take this heat register apart. I started prying this off to make sure it didn't lead to any holes in the walls he could get through. Now he's starting to make his way out. And this is why you got to be very careful when you have snakes, because they could crawl in here in these things and get burnt. They could crawl inside these things and get burnt. And ball pythons are very curious, and their curiosity can get them into a lot of trouble. All I can say is, Argyle, you little prick. But in reality, I'm the prick. Well, whatever the female equivalent of that would be. It's not his fault. He's a snake. It's my fault. I wasn't watching him enough. With snakes, it's not much different than a 2-year-old child. You gotta watch them when you have them out of their enclosures. 'Cause this is what they'll do. I'm gonna let him worm his way out. 'Cause now he's finding it boring in there. And it's cold too, 'cause there's no heater on. It's June now. There's no need to have a heater. I almost had to unscrew that little bit right there. And I have no head. Either that screw is really stripped down. It's very old and rusted in there. And and stripped down, or I don't have the proper like I've got Robertson, and I've got Robertsons, I've got Phillips, I have Stars, but I don't have any other. I don't have, probably somewhere in my toolbox, maybe, not sure. But he's getting out now. And snakes, surprisingly, can fit themselves, like rats can, or mice can, like their prey that they eat. They can fit themselves into very small little holes. This is why you gotta be careful, and I am awfully glad I didn't have to rip apart this whole thing to get him out, because that would have cost me money to the landlord. The apartment manager and the landlord know I have a snake. They don't mind. Snakes, they're not as destructive as dogs or cats can be. And they're not allergenic. They're hypoallergenic pets. But incidences like these could end up costing you quite a bit of money. It's just very concerning. And when I went in there, I went to grab him going, no, it's like, oh God, no. Because he was clinging onto the inside of this thing. And when this thing was up, there's not many places to stick my fingers through. See, now he's completely out. Yeah, I'm just really concerned about you right now, buddy. Yeah, you're just being curious. I'm being the idiot, not you. You can never blame your snakes when they do things like this. You have to watch them. You have to watch them when they're out of their enclosures. Hey, buddy. Hi. Worried about you. Yeah, now you're fascinated with the camera, as you always are. I don't know what's with snakes and cameras. Might be giving off infrared. It might be giving off like infrared coloring, because those little holes in his face are heat pits that snakes, especially pythons, have. And it kind of gives them this sort of infrared sensing so they can hunt. So maybe that's why he's fascinated with the camera. Buddy.